All right. I just have to say, what the fuck is going on? Like, I leave for 5 days and like Twitch is hacked. Like, and I don't know if my shit got on there. I'm pretty sure my shit actually got on there. But it's like, what the fuck? Like, I thought it was illegal to, display people's, how much money they earn now. And guess what? My great grandma passed away like more than 2 weeks ago. I went to the funeral this past freaking weekend, and look, and you know what happened? Today I got texted a job interview through Zoom. So before this, I was downloading Zoom and all that, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? Ugh. All right. I'm a little too pasty. Give me a second. A little too pasty. There we go. Much better. Much better. I turned down the screen brightness on my television monitor, so hopefully I don't look like I'm like a freaking ghost the whole time. So it is what it is. So we're just gonna play Murder 4, everybody. Alright. Let's see what I look like on YouTube really quickly. Then we'll be truly on our way. That's not what it's called, dude. I'm like a freaking ghost the whole time. Alright, I'm gonna change the title. Fucking hell, dude. Um, what the fuck? Where's my... Alright. Alright, let me check one more time. Alright, one more time. Okay. Hopefully it changes. No, no, no.
That's okay. I won't care anyways.
Yeah. I can't see what the fuck I'm doing. Ah, son of a bitch. Hold on. Oh, I'm Corey Taylor. Okay, cool. Yo, what's up, man? How you doing? Yeah, a lot of shit happened to Twitch, didn't it? And like my life was fucking chaotic too. Like I got back from my grandma's great grandma's funeral, and that was chaos as hell. And basically, I was forced to be like a host when no one told me anything about it. So I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? Jesus. And now I'm playing murder for only 3 people. I just started streaming a little bit ago, so grateful to have you here, mate. And I'm a detective too. Okay. Alright, guess I was wrong there. Okay, you just... I killed you, dude, and... Is someone cooking something? Oh, it's hungry already? I guess if you haven't eaten all day, guess you would. How's the game going? Well, guess it's alright then.
Where's the other dude at? Where'd he go? Is the Mandalorian dude still alive? Did he not Bitch! I saw it and they just killed me! I saw him have the... I should have just walked away, say, oh, bye. Fuck! All I do, I walk in, I go behind the counter, I see a knife, I go, oh. Oh! Oh!
Huh.
Oh! All I see just... I see him with the knife.
No
then,
offense, but with that avatar, you're an invitation to getting stabbed.
True.
It has much volume.
Okay, let's see. I think this guy's better.
That's worse
That's-
somehow. That's actually worse.
Yes.
How
I mean,
about
it
this?
looks nice. It's a nice avatar, but it's not gonna help.
How about this one?
You just
See,
saw
now
his
that one I would
avatar.
probably stab in real life. Like, if I saw that in real life, I would probably stab it.
Yeah.
He straight up just
How
stole
about-
that guy's avatar.
Yeah, it's okay.
Upsetting.
I didn't create it, so I don't care.
Let's see. There might be one I can... Oh, I know which one. Where's he at? There it is. Perfect.
Yeah, that could work.
I can just hide in a small
That's better.
space. Just...
Yeah, your height calibration is a bit weird though, because when you look down, you just fly up.
What else do I... I think that guy's tall. The perfect one.
Butter.
Butter.
Yeah, actually, that is an optimal avatar. It works.
Bruh, I
don't
just...
understand
I
why
know
they're
who
so
it is.
optimum.
Freaking Sonic piece of garbage over there.
Honestly, I don't know why this game.
He's, I
Like-
saw it in half.
Okay.
Did you just call Shadow the Hedgehog Sonic?
I think he did.
Yo.
I think he just.
I'm gonna
No,
shoot.
it's not
I'm
what I
going
meant.
to shoot and or stab
Yo.
you on principle
Okay.
now.
Cool.
I just want you
No,
to prepare
that's not what I
yourself
meant.
for that.
I meant as it was a
I
character
cannot.
from Sonic. I didn't mean that
Ten
was
levels.
Sonic. I meant that was a character
It's not
from
Sonic. It's
Oh.
Dude, you saved us all. You saved us all.
Soma.
You saved us all.
S-O-R-M.
But how?
Yo,
I shot
literally
him.
was
He
watching
didn't
that. I saw
die.
you
You just
come out
said
of
the
the corner,
forum.
and I thought you were gonna die.
On my screen, I died. I just went
Yikers.
on dead on my screen. What the heck?
You both killed each other.
A robot.
Oh, damn.
Well, goodbye.
No.
boys.
Going
Thank
to
you
the
for that
bedroom.
sports
You wanna kill me?
Lego.
There's a.
Detective, some guys. Yes, I am tiny. Hi.
Hello,
Very
hello.
tiny.
I'm also tiny.
You're also very tiny. That
Yeah,
person
but he's a
was even tinier.
Lego.
Yes, I'm a Lego. And then...
Oh, God, that's a giant bunny.
I guess we have music, you know. Well, I hope people can hear them because I'm tired of like hearing, you know, like really loud on stream in the video. So,
Fun.
ooh, I haven't found a clue there yet.
Yeah, open up.
Wait.
Nothing.
You didn't notice me. Shit.
Hey,
Ouch.
hey.
No.
Yay.
Look down. Look down.
What the heck?
Bruh, she walks in the room and I just see her with the knife. And I just.
I got the
Wait,
knife
shut
from
up.
that room.
Shut up. I'm in the bed. I'm going to the bedroom.
Well, I guess we have a lot of voice filters here.
The heck was that?
Yo.
Open the door. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Don't close it. Somebody's gonna die.
Yep, it's supposed to
Never
be.
mind. Oh no!
Hey, I wanna see the picture of Will Smith on the wall. Oh shit.
It's not me, I promise. I promise.
You're the only one in that room that conveniently has a knife and it's bloody everywhere.
Good.
don't
It
trust
deserves blood.
Fuck, I like that something.
Y'all having a lot of fun here.
Deserves blood.
I feel like I'm back in 2005. Jesus.
Is there a Michael Jackson?
Where literally like everyone had a voice filter on their YouTube videos 24/7.
Cool, cool. Oh, probably left the knives on the floor.
I'm not touching that.
All right.
You know you can fix that in Blender, right?
In Blender?
Yeah, you can import the model, and then you can literally it's like 2 buttons to change the viewpoint on where your camera is situated.
Okay, I don't have Blender though, so...
Bullets are faster than knives.
Bro,
Bullets are fast.
bro, you're going ham on the... You're going ham on the... What?
Are fast.
Okay, I'm finally.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You're going ham on the... what's it called again? The voice? You're going ham on the auto-tune, man.
I'm speedrunning this shit.
No, not kill you.
Hey, come with me.
Oh,
That's why I heard a
oh
snake.
no.
Hey.
Well, that snake is somewhere now.
No, not again. Not again. I'm not willing to take that same fate. Oh, you got me. Oh, thank God.
Let's go.
I don't know. She hasn't been. Wait, are you the same one I killed?
Wait.
Watch out! Watch out! Look at the hands. Or you might end up dead. Watch out! Open the
Okay.
door. Keep the door open. Okay, never mind. We're good. We're good.
Don't you dare.
Hey, you opened the door. I just saw you
Help
from
us!
Butter
She might
Bar.
kill us!
Open the door.
It's gonna be. Thank you for being in here. We're
hey, yo,
we're
what's
thinking it's
happening?
her, but we don't know.
Well, your tail is very
Yeah,
stiff. I
sorry.
hear they make
Well, I'll
We
just
can't
do it.
talk.
Now I'm stuck in here.
If you wanna kill us, make it quick.
Iron bars.
Wait, we gotta look through the wall. Oh! I know who it is! I know who it is! I know who it is! Fucking over the door!
Where's my distance?
It's the fucking what's his name? He has like the weird mask on. He looks like a killer. He looks like a killer.
Who, me? The
Oh,
Lego dude?
that
Where's he at?
nerd.
Where's he at? No, the dude with like the.
No, you're General
the Lego
Grievous
person.
and you're a Lego.
Come follow me.
Yes,
You're
I'm
the
Lego
detective.
Grievous. I am both of those things.
Yeah, well, that's the opposite of a scary man with a mask. Oh, hey, look, it's a picture
Yeah, I
of
mean,
Will
if I
Smith.
was the actual Grievous, it would kind of be scarier.
I think you went down here.
This is a cyborg, so like, it wouldn't really.
Alright.
Objection.
That is a purple robot bunny. What do you mean objection?
I know what he looks like. I know what he was. I saw him through walls.
Well, yeah, he was a
He still
cyborg.
has some.
He's
He
dead.
has organs. He has like
That
organs.
is very, that is
I know
very
you're a
good.
cyborg.
Good for them.
It's
Where did he fucking go?
robotic parts.
Door's locked.
That's what a cyborg is.
Human.
Well, you,
He's not a human. He's like a humanoid.
Yeah, a cyborg. Because he has
Yeah, I
human
was about to say,
organs but has metallic parts. That's what a cyborg is.
I stand corrected. Okay.
Where did he go?
What is he doing? He or she
I know who it
doing?
is. I just don't know where he's at.
Just watching.
I'm
What's
gonna
wrong
open that
with
door
it?
just in case you need an escape route.
Well, guess I'll
And
just do
nothing.
this
I was
now.
just wondering.
Oh, look at Shadow.
Oh my god! I think I just heard somebody pull up the 9. Okay, bye.
must have been an
Gunshot.
American.
Let's go! Oh, yeah, it's right there!
Gun.
Oh, they did that. They have a heart inside.
Wait,
Yeah,
it's
bitch,
like
figured it
miles
out.
away.
Yes.
You have a heart inside of your avatar. That's cool.
So you have the Force then, huh?
Poa.
Pretty much
I can
everybody in
no-clip
VR chat is
sometimes.
I'm less
maybe.
concerned with the Force and more concerned. Did you just call that gun a 9mm?
God
a
damn it! I just want to be the
revolver.
detective at
What do you
least.
think 9
Well, I guess it
means?
could
It's
be a
still a
9mm
gun.
revolver. Yeah, it is a gun,
No,
but it's
no,
not a.
sir, no, that is not a 9mm. I can guarantee you right now.
Mirage
I have a
Prime, can you
9mm
crouch?
in my
We need
desk
to
right
inspect
now.
the weapon.
Do you have a clue where Porky is? Where that giant pig is? I have some business to attend to with him.
What in the actual name of Satan and all the demons of hell are you talking about?
You
What
see,
giant
he's on
pig?
quest, and your avatar isn't for quest, so he's seeing a fallback.
Oh, okay.
I'm
You
not.
know
you're
you
not
can
like a-
get well. You know you can get desktop streamer and do desktop VR chat on a Quest, right?
Yeah.
He
But
probably
anyways,
doesn't.
okay, bye.
He's a children.
That is no excuse.
Okay, I gotta do something.
I mean, yeah, it is no excuse, but it's absolutely.
I spit on the youth.
Okay.
It's crunchy.
Wait, what the hell? Oh.
I'll go close the door for you, and then you can act like you did it, if it makes you feel any better.
Be here.
Hi.
Here.
I was trying to look for imposters. There's like 2 people who weren't like around you, y'all.
Now I'll go check. There's no way.
There should be a picture over here. Oh, it's cool, nice. Well, every time I find a weapon, I never find the weapon. Someone else finds it somehow. It is what it is. Okay.
Over here.
Hey, okay.
Hello. You will die.
Alright, I got this damn image. Come on, you got it. There we go. Okay. Library, here we
Oh,
come.
you beat me to the gun. Yeah, it's a little Lego guy. It's a Lego stormtrooper.
Where the gun? Who got the gun? Who do you voodoo the gun?
Oh, dang.
Okay, you got the gun?
It's a guy with a tour trooper.
It's
Yeah,
Cody
it's a
the
Lego
I heard.
stormtrooper. Yeah.
I heard him downstairs.
No, you will die. Oh, wait, hello. Hello, Mr. Brush.
It's very unlucky.
Dang it.
Yeah, he also
You were so
But my
lucky
parents
I was
sadly said, I
distracted.
don't want to die.
What do you mean? There were like 7 different people.
Bro, my
Yes,
dude,
but
the
I
dude
was
said,
focusing on
do-do-do-do-do,
You would probably
time
died
to
anyway.
Person. Ah, dang it.
Any one of us could have just yoinked that gun.
Does it involve making a knife disappear?
Hello, Butter. Hello, Butter.
But can you like grab things? Can you try to like grab the sheriff's gun out of the office?
That's not magic. You just have a really long piece of string.
It's very thin.
Yes.
I'm not a murderer anymore.
Hey, Cam, kill him.
You can have strings
on a
me?
computer, sir.
Yeah. He seems
If
suspicious.
it was me, I would be going down to that bar area, getting the knife, and then yeah. So if it was me, I would already be running to get a knife.
How old are you? Out of here.
Where's this gonna lock down?
Hey, if you're the murderer, I won't tell anyone.
Do we just...
Okay, I want to have a talk with you.
Who's making those noises? Who's making those noises?
If you're the murderer, I
Who's
won't
making-
tell a soul.
I
There's a
see
door
how
right
it is.
there with no one there, right?
My
Kill
butt
anyone you
smells
want.
like
Who's the murderer?
It's him! Kill him! He told me he was the murderer. Kill him!
He just
You're acting really sus.
just left.
Okay, watch. Watch
sorry.
this. I'll prove my innocence.
Oh hey, look, a clue. Awesome.
Shut
Yeah.
up,
No, we
Kiwi.
can't hear the clicking.
Sorry, I'm not gonna give away to any kid.
Wow, so rude. You just told Kiwi to shut up for no reason.
Yeah, he was doing
You
stupid
can
fucking
shut up though.
beatbox.
You're coughing.
You need a better magic trick.
I'm gonna die either way, so let's go.
Okay, bye. We're staying in here. I'm gonna kill all of you.
What's poppin'?
Hey, yo, wait, what did I just hear?
Don't mind me, it's watching.
I'm door.
Shoot me, come on.
Door woman.
A clean shot to the head.
No,
No,
did
get
I
out.
say murder?
Oh shit!
Oh
Okay,
shit!
never mind.
Yeah.
I found it.
Hey,
I
we
found
can
the
talk
murderer.
about
I found the murderer.
No, I saw
Nope,
the
nope,
murderer.
not happening. Not happening.
Who was it?
I told you.
Oh, it was him.
Woo! Woo!
Yeah.
I told you.
I
about
lived.
this.
Fucking
Not
lived.
happening.
I lived.
What did
It
I
just
did?
went right
What the hell
through me
did
because
I
he couldn't
did?
crouch.
I'm the only fucking person who died.
Your voice is crashed.
No, he definitely deserved it.
Hmm.
No, no. There's no probably there.
Tell me.
Oh my my goodness, I'm out. Not that noise.
Can we shut up?
Where the fucking detective is? Come kill me.
It's like a sci-fi
Bruh.
Final Fantasy. I kind of dig it.
Kill me. Come on.
I don't know what that is.
Fucking children, man. Fucking
I
children.
won't because I will use the gun.
put that together. I don't.
Okay,
You don't
bye.
know that? I might be the murderer, huh?
Like walking around and
You don't know.
Yeah,
If you were the murderer,
about that.
Oh, I heard that.
would be
About that, I heard that. We're locked in
Aren't you
here.
colorblind?
Come on, I heard the murderer. I
Aren't you
heard the cat and the
colorblind?
knife.
And how would you know? I don't believe you!
You're lying.
All I see is
Ah,
fucking
so you
small
see why I
body with
didn't
a
kill
fucking
you.
knife.
Bro, you
I
had
see
to be
why I
the,
fucking did it.
if this was an anime, you had to be the most loudest anime dude ever.
Wait, the
Like
Why
Naruto
do
and
you have to
every
pull a
loud
revolver? I am so
motherfucker
dumb.
who is in
Yeah, you stupid bitch.
who's in the anime shows.
It's because
Bro, legit.
you're a
I
furry.
opened the.
Sorry, I just couldn't deal with that shit. Oh, my brain's traumatic. But a good thing though, I got a Zoom job interview meeting for this place called something innovations. It's like a it's like a marketing thing. I totally forgot what job I applied for. I don't know if I'm a clerk for the company or, you know, something like that. But it's just an interview tomorrow. So I downloaded, like I said earlier, I downloaded Zoom and figured that out. And hopefully I don't sound like garbage because I found the noise suppressor on the app. So if I don't have a noise suppressor, my microphone's pretty hot garbage. So I guess I'm just playing by myself now. So this is a test, so let's see if I can collect all of the coins, you know. And there's no one killing anybody, that should be perfect. Let's see how many coins you can get. What? I collected a coin. I guess since I'm... Oh. Hello.
Well, I'm a guy with a staff.
All right.
Ooh. Why are there so many fucking people piled up here?
Grinch, Grinch. Ah, come on.
What?
should have saw it coming. Someone walked backwards and found me.
Oh, hi, guys.
Fucker stole my coin. Come here, fucker.
Quiet as can be. That's the game.
My coin. Honey, kill him. That guy running that way. I'm pointing at him. Kill him! On the stairs! On the stairs! Not me! Wait down, that one!
Why are you trying to shoot
Not
me?
me! Him! Not me!
Sorry, I can't help. You're not giving a good description.
Come on, man.
Alright, that's how you do it!
She make it love
Yeah.
I got the imposter.
Alright, let's go.
Oh no.
Alright, so that's probably a player I can't reach for some reason. Nice. If I watch a coin disappear, I'm gonna get you. Hmm.
Ah, frick.
I don't know why you want to die so much there, but alright. Hmm. Hmm. Bruh. Really? You should be gone. I don't know, you're probably glitching or something. You're fucking stupid. Alright, come on. Now you can go there.
Oh my god.
Hey, you did not get it, you dickhead.
One
Whoa,
by
why
clutch.
won't you let me be the guy? Please, I be the person. I wanna. I'm.
It's
What?
random.
I wanna have that. I wanna shoot you guys.
It's random.
No, whoever wins gets it.
When the can I be you?
Never.
Alright. Sorry, I don't want to deal with children. I feel like the whole lobby was filled with fucking children.
I get 2 raises mandatory a year, and then they already gave me a raise as well, because I asked for one. Because compared to like a lot of the other apprentices, I do way better than them. I actually meet my quota.
Well, that's cool. Someone getting a raise and getting it. Or asking for a raise and getting it, that's pretty good.
Sonst hängt das auch schon komplett hinterher. Na.
Well, just keep that on.
I just never feel comfortable going in
I
there.
just realized my neck has like a massive.
Ooh. Guess we have mirror lobbies today. Oh, we have an island animation over here. Love it. Oh, I forgot I'm a pawn. Okay.
Not yet. Still gotta do some things around the house too. Around the crib.
God, I don't know what I want to do.
Oh, there we go. Oh.
Definitely not gonna react to YouTube videos today. I don't feel like reacting to anything, you know. Don't want to talk smack with anybody, so. So I'm just picking up trash like I did at my great grandma's funeral. Freaking annoying.
Specialist.
Like plastic surgery?
Yeah, bro.
This man is soaked.
Oop.
What the fuck? This character fucking sucks.
Okay.
Yep. Wow. Okay. Why did it go like through my pectorals and everything?
No, it ain't tracking.
I don't think you know anatomy words.
It's if the character gets too low to the ground.
Oh,
It's because he has a sitting animation. So I'm having a fucking float.
I can't help but keep looking at your toenails on your feet.
How can you see them?
Yeah, I see. I was like about to ask you, how the fuck can you see them?
No, it's just like the outline of them, like slightly.
I guess, yeah.
I can't see it.
Those some high res feet.
The amount of shit y'all can't see is fucking insane.
Yeah, I know,
It's
honestly.
How did you guys learn to speak English?
From gaming.
Oh, gotcha.
What?
And YouTube.
School? Gaming. School? No. Social media.
Mostly YouTube.
I returned it all back eventually, but like for around about like 4 months, they were the people that I owed the 20 mil. And I like kind of like ghosted them every single time they tried to do something. And then what ended up happening, they'll just be like playing the game, and then they would like go and like ruin like my entire like run.
I took a year of Spanish.
So then eventually I just started borrowing money from more people, going into more debt, doing PvPs, but then it finally like worked out, and then I actually paid off all my debt, and I just quit playing the game.
I took a year of Spanish in 6th grade. Sounds like mildly dangerous, you know, you go in debt.
Yeah.
Like you get hunted down and shot. Like it's like somebody buy it.
Like some dark web shit like happens.
Yeah. They hire like your hitman to go after you. They like break into
This
your
man has 20 million of our gold. We need him put down.
Oh my god. You took $20 million? No, that's $20 million. 20 million gold. 20 million.
It's more important.
Yeah.
Oh. This is more important than money.
The hitman's looking at
The hitman's like, what are you paying?
I have come
me?
for my debt.
You said 10,000.
I think that actually, I don't think I'm going to continue on VR chat today.
100K to buy full goon.
Honestly, I probably shouldn't stream today, but I know if I didn't, people would stop, wouldn't interact. Yes. So, what am I gonna do?
That would be an insane story, though. I'd die famous, I think.
Oh my.
Ugh. Okay. Okay. No. I don't know what I want to do. I don't want to react to a video because I'm yo. I'm just tired right now. I didn't fall asleep till like 4 something a.m. Woke up at 11 and because that's why I'm tired. Of course, I didn't finish my lunch till 4 p.m. today. I started eating at 1 noon something, but I started doing tons of different stuff. Like I hit a deer. Like, I hit a deer, you know, and like I luckily swerved out of the way, so basically hit the driver's side bumper and then the suds or whatever. It's the, you know, the thing that covers the tires from getting dirt inside your engine. Of course, I have a more technological car, 2015 Cherokee Latitude. So it has more technology stuff in it. So it's not the newest, of course, because 2015, but still a lot newer than my parents' car. So yeah, so today, around like noonish, I made a claim, and luckily it worked out. Like, I'm dropping off my thing at a local mechanics thing tomorrow, and I'm gonna also get a rental car. And also tomorrow I have that job interview, so it's like life's going alright. You know? Life is going on right. It's chaotic as hell because the trip home for my great grandma's funeral was hell. Then I come home, like almost like 40 miles away from home. I crash into a deer. Then I have a job interview tomorrow through Zoom, which I hate so much, but it's for an Indianapolis job, which is like 50 miles away from me. Yeah, that's what I have to deal with, you know? Okay, so I recorded that, so I'm gonna try to make a highlight thing. Alright, Ugh. Um. I guess I'm just trying to. I'm trying to figure out what this job is about. Like. Oh, there we go. I'm hoping I find that position, dude. Ooh. Well, it's not through Indeed. So it had to be through LinkedIn. I'm supposed to be able to go to My Jobs, and then I don't want to go to Saved. Alright. I'm trying to find every job I applied for. I looked at this stuff earlier. Jobs? I just don't know what they're talking about above the job section, you know? Jeez, puppy doggy. You stink, dude. You stinky. Oh yeah, I gotta choose that. Oh boy. What do you call it? Oh, this is so annoying. I just want to say I'm unemployed, dude. What the fuck, education? I will figure this out. Because it says, click on jobs icon on top of your homepage. Click apply jobs above the search bar. There's nothing above the search bar. Jesus. What's up, puppy? Wuppy duppy guppy. You need to go potty, puppy? Potty? Okay. I'll be right back. It's burning and it's wet outside. I know. Alright, y'all, I'm back. Sorry, my puppy whoopy duppy guppy had to go potty. And it's raining outside too, so I'm pretty sure I have to go outside again. Alright, I guess I'm gonna try it through the app on my phone. Jobs. I'm just guessing it doesn't. It takes away the jobs I applied for. So did I apply for it directly on that website then? Because I have an interview on Wednesday for this thing, and I'm just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Alright, whatever, fuck it. I guess. I really thought this channel seemed like it has more shit to it, but right now it just seemed like a literal, like, Silent Hill jerk fest. And another thing, like, I can't.
The closer is the first monster encountered inside.
I feel like the person is either this is a woman or like a trans man. Guess what? That's what I feel like this person is. Cause it's like I think I saw a clip of them once, and he looked either like a really ugly guy with a feminine voice or like a trans man. Which I think trans men are one of the most time ugly. Like I'm ugly myself, dude. Just like people probably imagine me being trans, and I'm like, no. Cause you look ugly as shit, and most of the time people are trans or fat and they don't look good, so they're just like. You just look like a dude with boobs. Like, you don't look any different than before, Your voice might be higher pitched. And I'm assuming that's what this person looks like. But who knows? I don't know. So it's like, it really confused me there. I know it's kind of a weird take. But it's like, it's always been in my mind watching this. I think it's good content, though. Like, content-wise, it's great.
Silent Hill 3. Heather enters a clothing store inside the mall.
I really just don't understand the person behind it,
Only to find a woman's corpse being devoured by the enormous creature. Its mouth seems to rotate violently against the corpse's face, before turning to lumber towards Heather. Numerous closers fill the walkways of the mall level. Their tall, long-limbed bodies make...
Also, fuck those guys. Fuck them hard. Because, like, when I was playing Silent Hill 3 on PlayStation 2, those guys were so annoying. Like, the outlet mall that you go to is, to me, is one of the most hardest places. That and also the sewer system or the / train station after you leave the mall. It's like, that's really hard too, because it's like almost the whole game I was literally just running around trying to like not die, because literally anything, like these guys and tons of villains just attack me over and over again. It's like, well, I can't find a freaking health stim pack, and I'm literally running around, and my PlayStation 2 like didn't let me to continue playing for a bit, so I had to reset and start all the way over on a different save until I finally defeated it. But it's like, oh. But I did end up enjoying it though. That's why my YouTube video for Silent Hill 3 is one of my more popular views. It has like 800 views on it or something, and I had like 3 comments on it. Yeah, but these guys are really annoying to kill, and they're bullet sponge. Like, I killed only one of these guys because I was like, fuck it. If I don't have to kill these people, I can just run around. That's literally what I did. Just run around and avoid attacking anything. Like, there was this room in the hospital that had like 3 nurses in it all at once. I literally just ran around it, got the health pack, and ran out. Like, I was like, oh, finally I did it. And I got health, and I was like, okay, so I can take more than 1 hit. And the whole time I was wearing the bullet jacket, you know, the bullet sponge. I forget what you call it. Bulletproof vest. Yeah, there we go. I wore that the whole time. Even though it slowed me down, I'm like, I don't care. At the end, I just started to run, especially kind of what the middle of the hospital. At the end of the hospital, I was kind of like, okay, I'm just done. I'm just done. I just want to go home and defeat the game. And I almost got defeated to it, but then I got stuck in the puzzle, and I was like, fuck it, I just gave up. And I looked at it, and I was like, and when I looked at that damn puzzle, it was like I did it normal, so I had like a password code. It's like, oh, in the morgue, there were like 4 different numbers I had to use, and I put in every single combination. I thought like, okay, 7604, 704, 7064. It was kind of stupid because I know I put that password in, but then I googled it and put that after that. I was like, I was so mad. I was like, dude, I almost had it. Yeah, I did no more action, no more mouse. So fuck these guys because they're really annoying. I just ended up and run around, and they're a bullet sponge. Almost. Ugh.
Maneuvering far more difficult. Their attacks can be hard to avoid. The bulbous flesh of their arms is large enough to strike Heather from a great distance. They are humanoid yet deformed, lacking hands or faces, with slim waists and long, thin legs. The Closer is a relation to the Mandarin from the second game, a monster that Masahiro Ito liked and wanted to utilize again in the sequel. The original creature hung below the grates of the town in the second game, a monster which represented feelings of hopelessness and depression. An unused animation for the Closer shows the creature once had a climbing animation, perhaps implying it would have hung below the ground like the Mandarin, only to suddenly climb up and chase the player.
Oh god, that'd be terrifying. To me, it looks like it has like vagina hands. So this guy is like, what? What does that even apply? You know?
On solid ground. The mall is a location heavily focused on self-image. In the other world, distorted bodies hang from the walls with posters covering their blank faces and limbs. Images of disembodied ears and lips can be found throughout the level. The Closer, an enormous humanoid with only lips upon its face, brings those images to mind, connecting the themes of commercialism and body image with the monster. It is a grotesque, distorted human, faceless and without identity, with only a long body and shapely lips as major features. The limbs, enormous and hard to avoid, hint at themes of abuse and violence. Silent Hill 3 is a game that explores both Heather and Alessa's fears and sorrows. A tall monster with hard to avoid limbs sounds very much like a child's distorted memory of an adult's abuses. The mouth of the Closer, and the mouths which appear on the walls, find their origins in the works of Francis Bacon, one of Ito's favorite artists. In particular, this piece was a major influence on the Closer's design. 3 studies for figures at the base of a crucifixion. The original painting has long been considered the beginning of Bacon's major works. It is a triptych, a painting with 3 central sections, each depicting separate images. Originally, they were meant to be later added to a more detailed piece depicting Christ on the cross, but the work was never finished. Bacon's works were often heavily focused upon abstract ideas of suffering. The crucifixion was a major focus of his work, as were the Furies, the Greek goddesses who punished evildoers, and who were apparently the inspiration for the 3 creatures in this image. The large gaping mouth became a staple of his work, one which he took from a film. The Battleship Potemkin, a 1925 black and white silent film. A still image from the film struck Bacon powerfully, and he became near obsessed with the presentation of the gaping mouth in art. The mouth and the creature from the reimagined painting of his original
that
triptych
makes
would
sense,
inspire
Chief.
Ito, and from it came the Closer, and likely the many mouths which appear in Silent Hill 3. The Book of Lost Memories says the mouths embody Alessa's screams of pain, still remembered in the other world. A major difference compared to Bacon's agonized mouths is the design of the mouth in Silent Hill 3. These mouths almost seem to smile. They have red lipstick, and are presented as the focus of an image, a poster covered in rust and blood. The central shopping center level of the game is a twisted representation of commercialism and advertising in the United States. The focus on the female form, of monsters with shapely bodies and no faces, of posters that lack humanity and only present a partial image of a human face, all reinforce the theme, the idea that this commercial world presents only a partial, incomplete, and even inhuman idea of what it is to be a person, an ideal no teen girl could ever aspire to in reality. It is bloody and nightmarish, with tortured corpses hidden behind idealized images, whose happy smiles become horrifying surrounded by such gore. The Closer itself first appears in the clothing store, a very specific location in the mall that's heavily associated with body image and commercialism. It's feeding on a human woman, one of the few corpses in the game, and it's not a twisted, tormented thing like some of the hanging bodies. It was clearly human once. This is a monster that represents the distortion of the self, that comes from a society that values image and idealized beauty over substance, and it destroys everyone it comes into contact with. There is writing on the creature's body that's hard to see in the game itself. atop the head, written vertically, is a Japanese phrase, Namu Myoho Renge Kyo, which can be translated to mean devotion to the mystic law of the Lotus Sutra. It is a Buddhist mantra, specifically a popular Japanese one, associated with Nichiren Buddhism. The phrase.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to watch these symbolism videos. 'Cause I'm just like, I really don't care. Like, it feeds the game, but it's kind of cool just to listen to it or sleep to it, though. Because, you know, like, I don't know. I just like Silent Hill. Thinking more now. I watch more videos on it. Ever since I completed Silent Hill 3, I was like in a Silent Hill binge. When I first when I got Silent Hill 3, which cost me $109 for my the store called Disc Replay. It's like where it's like a pawn shop for video games only, or like digital media only, you know, so laptops. I don't think there's PCs there, but it could be TVs, video game systems, controllers. Yeah. And when I was looking there, I wanted Silent Hill 2, because that's the most famous game of them all. But I only could find Silent Hill 3. And of course I couldn't find Silent Hill 1 since I wasn't looking in the right place. I was like, where's Silent Hill 1? I'm like, oh, I'm looking at PlayStation 2, Luke. You know? But anyways, yeah. But yeah.
Phrase is an indication of the speaker's devotion to a specific Buddhist document, the Lotus Sutra, one of the most popular sutras and the central document of many Buddhist schools. It is said that the mantra itself was first said in Japan by the Buddhist monk Nichiren in 1253. A mantra is a phrase or word which has power, which is repeated as part of religious ceremonies with a specific goal in mind. It is believed that mantras have power and the ability to benefit the speaker and the world in various ways. This mantra, it is said, can guarantee the speaker's rebirth into paradise. There are also markings on the creature's head surrounding the Japanese text, which resemble Roman numerals. There is a V and 4 eyes, which add up to equal 9. The 9th chapter of the Lotus Sutra, the document mentioned in the mantra, is actually the last chapter that is considered part of the original unedited document. The Lotus Sutra is a revolutionary document in Buddhist history, as it details a new way of imagining the Buddhist faith that was not present in its earliest years. In the beginning, Buddhism was a school of thought with a focus upon monkhood. While monks would speak with the lay people, there was a separation between the two, and a belief that only a monk could ever truly ascend to Buddhahood. The Lotus Sutra would instead teach that anyone could become a Buddha, even if they weren't a monk. It would describe the many vehicles of Buddhism, a now common idea that describes the schools of Buddhism as different boats meant to carry different kinds of people across the river of existence. It discusses the nature of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, or Buddhas who remain in the cycle of reincarnation to assist others. In the 9th chapter, the followers of Buddha approach and ask him to foresee their futures. Will they one day ascend? Yes, the Buddha says. They will all one day become Buddhas, and ascend and create their own paradises. In this version of Buddhism, the concept of ascension and becoming a Buddha refers to breaking free of the cycle of rebirth and becoming enlightened. An enlightened Buddha or Bodhisattva is capable of creating a pure land, a paradise outside of the cycle, where others can be reborn into a world without suffering. The words and numbers upon the closer's head thus refer to a mantra that is said to ensure one's birth into paradise, a text that says anyone can be reborn as a god, and a chapter which...
Okay, it's probably reference like, oh yeah, they're talking about Alessa birthing a new god, you know?
foretells the followers of Buddha becoming gods themselves. Given the story of Silent Hill 3, the references seem obvious. It is the story of a woman attempting to create paradise, and a young girl who will, should Claudia succeed, become like a Buddha herself, or more accurately, create paradise by birthing God, a process she won't survive. Thank you for listening to this week's Silent Hill symbolism. If you like my work, please support.
I guess she got Silent Hill and it's her thing.
Hello, Julia. Oakley Dokley, and I'm going to do the dastardly and unfathomable ice cream pie! You guys, I have some bad
Oh yeah, I love this guy.
news. Good morning, everybody. It's a very exciting day today. Kevin is still angry and upset and very cute, but also handsome. Look at this beautiful man. He's a little bit less aggressive, but he's still aggressive. So it's not over yet with him. Got this little tiny little baby. I don't know what this is called.
I don't know, I don't know why, Kevin is so aggressive. I've been watching him for months now, and it's just, still, it's, the same every time. Kevin, attacks this dude. It's what the fuck? Why? Oh.
Called some kind of a dog. But today I'm going to be taking this little girl to the free vet clinic at Tractor Supply, which is not free at all. It's actually just barely more affordable than an actual vet. It is still more affordable. Pardon the mess, little one. I've been doing a lot of traveling lately. All right, everybody. Here it is. The vet people are here. They are licensed veterinarians. They do all the stuff that normal vets do, but they do it right here in Tractor Supply for a fraction of the price. Okay, I'm going to leave her in here. All I really need to get are these overalls and then a bunch of puppy food. And Poggers is going to eat this stuff because this is what he was raised on. So I'm actually going to try giving this food to both of them and see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and get 3 or 4 bags of layer pellets so I don't have to worry about that for a while.
Nice.
I'm going to get a little bit of sweet feed because that helps Karen and Kevin. And also the baby can eat this and it's okay for him. It's not the best thing for him, but it's okay. Okay, this should hold us over for a little while. Today marks the beginning of some very big changes that are happening at the Urban Rescue Ranch. Not only do we have a little friend for Poggers, but I got something real big cooking up for you guys this fall. The baby who's chewing on something I don't know what he's chewing on is turning into a man, and he needs to go to Waco so he can hop around on 2 acres instead of just a yard. But before then, I'm going to do the dastardly and unfathomable, which is take apart all this fencing. All the dividers for the yard are going to go straight to Waco, along with Karen and Kevin. Except for maybe this one right here, just because I do want to keep the baby out of here, so he likes to dig everything up and make a huge mess, as if it wasn't a huge mess already. So tonight, Uncle Ben is going to pull one of his famous all-nighters, where I have very, very productive all night. Also now, Kevin is completely tame, as you can see. I don't know whether that's because I finally trained him or because the seasons are changing. Either way, I'm really, really happy about it. What's really nice about Kevin changing is that I don't have to worry as much.
Speak
now
of the
about
devil,
someone
you
to
know.
take care of him. Well, my roommate's going to stay here and take care of the baby. I'm never gone or in Waco or anything like that. that, I am planning to leave the baby here until we are able to have that fencing fully set up, the back 2 acres in Waco. Karen and Kevin, I need to corral both of them onto the bus. Till then, it's time for me to start finally disassembling these things, so that's what I'm going to do tonight. Well, looks like we trapped Vinny and Kevin.
I mean, it doesn't look that hard
The
to.
last 3 weeks, Vinny has just been free ranging. She's been doing very well. I'll see her in the neighbor's yard. I don't want their dogs or coyotes going and getting Vinny, so Vinny's gonna go back into this little kennel that has fencing at the bottom. After I'm done taking this kennel out and all this fencing and then that fencing there in the middle, I'm gonna go ahead and start laying down sod in all of these little spots where all the grass has been dead. It's time to pick up this little sweetheart and move her back. Oh, come on, in her little cage. Oh, she's scared of the new pup. For some reason, I can always train these guys to be nice to the chickens, but it's extra hard to train them to be nice to quail and bunny. I still have that instinctive drive to go after these little guys. If you guys don't know, Vinny is our little last of 20 meat rabbits that we rescued last winter. Was missing most of her ears because she was kept in a hoarding situation where they were just eating. Oh, the baby was fighting the little puppy. That's the first time I've been able to get her back in there for a while. Wow, look how big the baby is. Watch this. Look at this guy. Whoa, he's huge now. You're such a big boy. What? I'm gonna take these fences down real quick so that he can hop around a lot more freely. Man, it is so weird to see Kevin just so scared right off the bat, and to see him with his feathers down, looking like Karen. So weird. One thing that makes my unnamed white dog a little bit different from poggers, she just climbs right in there and then just gets a little wet. She's so cute. She's literally just a little pogger. One thing I really love about these is how simple they are to put together and take apart. It's literally just these little clamps here, but they're really sturdy. Animals have such a hard time getting through them. Well, this type of kennel I got for the dog.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look like it was hard to get out. That shit's gonna be a pain in the ass.
Light pen was a lot, I guess you could say, cheaper, a lot weaker than the other ones are. I have to spend a lot more time zip tying all the ends and putting little clamps everywhere. Oh, the ice cream truck's here. Ice cream puck. Ice cream puck. Okay, I got ice cream. I think we're almost done. Now we have poggers in Waco most of the time. I don't really need this anymore. This is a good little system. At least it was good while it lasted. Poggers found ways to get through almost every time. Little boy's resourceful. He was jumping up on here and then jumping up on the roof up there and then jumping down to the other side. He's crazy. Looks like she found a little egg, then she cracked it open. Now she's eating it, but I think it was rotten. Don't eat that. No, don't eat that. No. Oh, look at little Vinny sitting on the hay bale. What's your guys' favorite part of these things? Mine's the bottom. I like to just go ahead and. Wow, it smells really.
Mine's the center, where it has some of the ice cream still, so you can lick at it. Then you get where you lick at it, you like see a little bit of the chocolate. It's like, ooh.
Really bad. Don't eat that. I'm glad she got all of her vaccinations today. She's gonna be pooping like crazy. A lot of you guys might be wondering, oh, Uncle Ben, how much did you pay for these? How much did you pay to get your whole backyard decked out into a little miniature rescue ranch, farm sanctuary / wildlife rehab in the making? Every one of these full kennel sets, which I believe is 10 panels, that's a gate, is $300 if new at Home Depot, but you can get them for $50 on Craigslist all the time. Always look on Craigslist. Farming Craigslist is the safest Craigslist in my opinion. Kids, don't ever go alone to a Craigslist transaction. Go with a friend or family member, but at the end of the day, you can literally get these whole kennel set for $50 online. Now these things were even cheaper. They were $200 at Tractor Supply last time I checked. Same thing. If you could.
It's like I used to watch, you know, r/Reddit everything, where they had like, oh, don't do this, don't do that, or experiences. I got tired of the bullshit and the Reddit armchair politics of each comment, but like most of them are like, yeah, don't go to don't trust a lot of websites, but mainly like 4chan. You don't trust 4chan, and you don't trust eBay unless you know that you're gonna get shipped to you. Even if like shouldn't trust everything. Like the first stuff that came with this microphone before I, you know, just put noise suppressor on it always, is that okay. The reason why I bought a whole new setup for streaming, because I usually buy a thing for voice acting was the same thing. The preamp, which connects to my microphone, connects to this it was just another preamp that we use as a computer interface, which I don't know why he calls it computer interface, but it's just like, I forget what he called this. It's studio mixer. I have a studio mixer for this microphone now, which really doesn't work to keep the static out, but like this noise suppressor on like literally any application does it. And so I bought everything new because I thought, whoa, I thought that shit was garbage because it's always static on this microphone. But now we're all good. I bought all these lights, a ring light, green screen. Yeah. Alright, sorry, that was a recording there. I'm like I said, I'm trying to follow my brother's advice, making like a stream of highlights and editing them together and making a YouTube video so people like can digest it. You know, this stream's kind of shit because I'm not sure how much longer I'm gonna be. I'm just tired and just another big days. The next, you know, next 2 days are gonna be big because I have to do all the stuff with my car tomorrow, and then I have that job interview tomorrow at noon, which I'm gonna use this whole setup here. I wish I could just go connect my Streamlabs to my Zoom app. That'd be so much easier. No, so they haven't responded back to me. They asked me. Don't know who that is. Sorry, I'm just checking my Jesus, I really fucking hate that every time my YouTube goes live, it never changes the freaking thing. It always says job hunting again, then VR chat. Every time I start streaming with this setup, when I'm streaming on YouTube and also Twitch at the same time. I don't understand why, but it is what it is.
Pick them up secondhand. They're really, really cheap if you get them online. I think I used actually a moving truck to get one of these back to the house, and I think I used a trailer at one point. I don't think I'll be able to fit these guys in the bus, sadly, but we can use a trailer. I've got a trailer back at the place now. So these larger kennels will be the last ones to go. All right, everybody, it's nighttime now, so I'm gonna go ahead and put little Vinny inside either this hutch or the hutch that I have over around the corner. I'm gonna take the quail that we have, and I'm gonna put them in this little house. Hello, Julia. Do you also listen to Kanye West? Here you go, queens. Just go ahead and lay down in there. Okay, I got both the quail in here. They're gonna be very happy. And you get Penelope to stop chasing them around because she's dingus. Foggers is trying to do that. I don't want to encourage that behavior, but also I really just shouldn't have free-ranging rabbits. I don't think anyone should. I did see one video where some people spent a lot of time making a really deep fence that went about 3-4 feet underground. But even that, I've heard people with the rabbits will dig under 4 feet underground with fencing. Really have to drive that chicken wire way down underground. And that's a lot of work when you can just create really nice little cute hutches that they enjoy. Oakley dokley. I tore this down. Now I just need to go ahead and get little Vinny over into that other little rabbit hut. It's gonna start raining here in about an hour, so I'm gonna try and hurry up. I will keep working in the rain. Look at this little water dog. Water dog. Okay, so it started raining pretty bad. Look at it just sleeping there on the hay bale. Just like, please let us in, Papa. Hey guys, I have some bad news. Worm farm that I spent so many years cultivating, escaping. All of the wasted hours spent cultivating this worm farm wasted. Look at all these little boys. Look how they just crawled all over the top of this thing. Hey, looks like the call ducks are adorable, but their nest.
Yeah, what was he going to use that for? I know he was farming the worms for a long time. I don't know why. I thought he was going to use it for feed, but I guess all these animals are going to Waco, and he's just going to move to Waco. And like I said last stream, is he just moving to Waco like full time or something? I don't know.
It's starting to get wet, so I'm gonna go ahead and fire up the old incubator. Goodbye. I need to bring those duck eggs, dry them off, and put them in there now before all those boys go to waste. Okay, firing up this old boy for now. It's been a little while since I used it. I'm just gonna have to use this spot. I've gone ahead and taken all the black panels out of here. This provides a little house for these little guys. Still pretty cute. The black panels are perfect for setting up the kennels for the wildlife rehab and for the lion tamanis that we're getting back. That's right.
Yeah, but those dogs are really fit though.
Lion tamanis, because that's our main source of
They're just
revenue for the
bouncing
project.
around
Really
and
dope.
shit.
These are all dried off and put in here. Statistically, none of you should survive, but we'll see. And they seem to be pretty happy so far. I did find the third one. The third one was actually underneath the feeder in there. Like he was just hiding under it. Glad I found him. I don't know if he was stuck or if he was just kind of, if that's just how he burrows down. But look at these adorable babies. I gave way too much food. I just went ahead and put a little covered area here for the food for these animals. This way the baby can hang out in here whenever I leave him here. But Karen and Kevin are going to come with me pretty soon. I also have this little area here for the baby because I don't really need any of this stuff and it would just taking a lot of time for me to take all this down. But we really do have 3 Berthas now. It's amazing. It's 2:37 now, and I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. I like this. It looks real neat. It's a little messy, but still, I'd like to be able to see the ducks.
That's not an all-nighter, my friend. That's not.
Here, I seem to be very happy, and I should be able to see him from my room. Some of the quail eggs that the rats would take up the top of that little thing there. August is sleeping in here by himself. He's a happy little boy, made his own little nest. Little baby boy is right over here by the AC unit, per usual. He's getting really big. Kevin is starting to be a nice little non-confrontational, beautiful man. My next big project is going to be to take down the whole duck run and then go ahead and put the ducks in here, or set up something for them in Waco. This is a lot more manageable. So whenever I take Karen and Kevin, it's really just going to be whenever I need a farm sitter to come by, and I will. It's just going to be feed the babies. And the baby's really good about eating out of this little guy here, which I could put a ton of food in. That would keep him fed for a few weeks. And without Karen and Kevin, this water will last a lot longer with just the baby and the chickens. The ducks pool needs to be filled up about once a week, if not twice a week. These quails have enough food and water to last them for quite some time, potentially 3-4 weeks. Olive sleeping in her little enclosure here. Vinny is happy and safe in this adorable little hutch here. I'm gonna put some hay in there tomorrow for her to chew on, but she has a lot of grass under there for now. And Penelope is sleeping under this adorable little pool thing here. Well, here it is, the finished product. It sure looks nice. The baby and Poggers seem to be enjoying it a lot. And it's nice to have this much more.
Yeah, it's all more simple.
For all the other little animals. I think they like this a lot.
Oh, I forgot to stop recording. My bad. Well, that's neat.
Oh my god, Dark Souls. Win? No, Mario's gonna die. Oh my god! Oh my god, sorry! It's him! Holy fuck! Sakura, you mad lad! You died! Oh my god!
Yeah, she's a lot more excited than the other guy. He's like, I don't believe it.
Real? Am I dreaming? Hello, there he is! Oh my god! He's so happy, look at him! I can't believe this! I'm shaking. He's finally here! Let's go! Oh! Ooh. I can't believe this! So many. Oh my god, that's almost canon. We're having Sora. Oh my god! Oh, it's got a tour! Whoa! 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 Oh, it's a spoiler! That is gorgeous! The platforms! Oh my god, actually getting on one of those things?
Yeah. Honestly, I like Twilight Bastion or where Bastion or Everlight Garden or whatever the fuck it's called. I like that better than the Kingdom Hearts 1. Even though I completed Kingdom Hearts 1 recently on my PlayStation 2, like when I was in like 2017, I think. Because me and my older brother played at the same time, but yeah, because I stopped and I continued playing. I just finished it because my brother was watching the Super Bowl. I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna do it because I don't care for sports. But yeah. Of course, I don't care for Smash. I'm never gonna play Smash. I'm not a Nintendo guy at all. Like, I defeated this campaign, like, story-wise, I completed the campaign for Mario Odyssey, the first one on the Wii, I think. But besides that, I don't care for Nintendo, so.
Oh, it's the same. Oh god. Oh my god. It's the heart station. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my god, more art. Oh my son. Ooh. Holy sh. Holy sh. This is gorgeous. Oh, Ventus. Aqua. Oh god. This is a lot. This is a lot. This is a lot. I feel sick. Oh. There he is, the best boy. I'm just like so proud, you know? Like look at him. Whoa.
I just thought it was really kind of weird because like Kingdom Hearts is not like related to Nintendo at all. It's literally a Sony thing. Like it's never been on the Wii or anything like that. So I'm just like, I guess since they has connection to like Final Fantasy with Cloud and Sephiroth, maybe that's why they were to do this. But I'm just really surprised Disney allowed them to do it, or Sony or whoever owns Kingdom Hearts IP. You know?
Hey Cloud, what's up? Wow. It's gorgeous. I thought that they were gonna give them skins for like Ventus and Roxas. Oh, let's go! That's my son! Oh, he's running on the beach! He's looking at the sunset! That's supposed to be Kyrie! Oh my god! No! Oh, I was doing the dog looking goofy thing! Oh! Oh no!
Yeah, but she's very emotional. I don't give two shits about, you know, video game characters or movie characters. And most thing I do is get excited. Hey, look, that's me. Look at that. I guess.
Alright, so the Wheel of Time, I have to turn this music down. The Wheel of Time Comic-Con panel is going to start in 3 minutes, apparently. I'm assuming it's going to start on time, because it's pre-recorded, so there's no reason to start it late. I have no idea what's going to be here. There might be a trailer. There's supposed to be some sort of exclusive drop. We already have a song from the show drop, which I'm going to link to it in the description below, because it is an amazing, amazing song. I've listened to it at least 10 times since it dropped, so that's fantastic. Looking forward to see what's going to be here. I'm just going to put this out there, because I have no idea.
Okay, I don't know. Wheel of Time is getting more popular, but I'm not watching a reaction of reaction. Because I'm already fucking bad enough as it is.
Welcome back to What Happened, the show in which I was always going to write an episode about Alan Wake 4, but held off just long enough that Remedy eventually announced a sparkling new remaster that everyone can enjoy. Boy, I can't wait to tackle Rival School soon! Rival School Capcom? Why do I even bother? Anyway, most of you should be familiar with Max Payne, Jack Quantum, and all the slow-mo diving and shoot-banging powers of the greater Remedyverse. Out of all of their games, though, the longest and most ominous shadow fell on Alan Wake, which had an arduous, almost 6-year development cycle fraught.
I started playing this like freshman year of high school. I think I saw it on the Steam that my brother has and he shares with me. Yeah, it's right there. Technically, I never played it before. I played like the beginning of it and kind of just gave up because I was like withdrawing going to the blood withdrawal event for my high school. God, that was such an awkward time, dude.
The
doubt, uncertainty, and a reset of its entire structure. And with that aforementioned remaster out, it's as good a time as any to revisit one of the Finnish company's most unique and important titles. So slip on your tweed jacket, grab your thermos of coffee, and let's shed some light on
God, you could definitely tell it's PlayStation 3. It looks so bad.
what happened to Alan Wake. I'm a writer. It's 2003 and Remedy
Or I should say, like, it looks dated for the time.
Entertainment has just completed Max Payne 2.
I'm assuming it's like... What is it? 2007 when this... I'm assuming 2010... 2007, 2011 when the game came out. Like, you can definitely tell it's from that era. Especially with the assets of the game and blah, 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 blah.
Max Payne, featuring Max Payne. And while it was more of an iterative sequel, they absolutely pushed the envelope in regards to technology. Personally, I remember seeing the physics-based mayhem and going, wow, graphics can't get any better than this. And they never did. Anyway, the studio was riding into high, but after 7 years of wandering the dreary, noir-filled streets of New York, they were looking to do something different for their next venture, and thus spent more than a year dreaming up ideas, settings, and genres. This period of exploration truly ran the gamut, and produced some wild stuff that you'd never associate with the studio, given their past or future work for that matter. One such idea was a comedic game that took place within a fantasy world. Think more Terry Pratchett instead of Frank Miller. And while the idea didn't last for very long, one element to its design did: darkness and light. The idea of playing with opposite ends of that spectrum was one of the earliest connective tissues that Remedy latched onto, from the concepting phase all the way to completion. They wanted to focus less on your typical gruff anti-hero like Marky Mark Payne, and more on an everyman, an author in this case, and landed on the name Alan Wake relatively early on. By the start of 2005, they had honed in on the setting, a quaint northwest town named Bright Falls, populated with an eclectic cast of characters and filled with forbidden closets of mysteries. If that feels eerily similar to Twin Peaks, well, that's because it is. Remedy was pretty clear that the seminal 90s dramedy was a huge influence on the game.
This is, excuse me, a damn fine cup of coffee.
There was, however, one major difference.
The funny thing about Twin Peaks is that when I first went to college, and when I scheduled going onto the campus as, you know, I don't know what it was, like one of the halls. It's like Norman Hall or something like that. I don't know. Normal Hall. I don't know what even it was. It looks like a library, but it wasn't. But they made me choose a major. So when you choose a major, start a major, like, oh yeah, you should go to the the day before classes start. You should go to like this join a major thing, like mainly for freshman people like me. And I was talking to one of the professors, and he asked, "What's your favorite show?" I said, "One Piece." And since it was really loud in the room, he said, "Oh, Twin Peaks." He said, like, "Do you know about the banana joke or whatever?" I'm like, I said One Piece, and he was like, "Oh." Oh, so every time I think of Twin Peaks, I think of that very awkward transition. And, you know, after that, well, that semester is the only time I was in that major. And I switched to theater, like a year later. I don't know. If I was me back in time, I would have, like, if I knew I was going to ISU, I would totally just did theater from the beginning. Because I graduated at the same time as people who started freshman year anyway, so it's kind of like, well, whatever. And I would just had to do more complicated stuff, you know. Be more awkward and do more plays and performances and... But I don't know. I graduated, so it is what it is.
Difference in this early version of Alan Wake compared to the game we know today, and that was its structure. In 2005, Bright Falls was going to be an entirely open, free-roaming world that the player could explore. At their peak, Remedy only had 55 full-time employees, which was woefully low compared to what you need to make a sandbox game at that time, and staffing up just to throw bodies at the problem wasn't really Remedy's MO. Thus, the technology team hunkered down for months and months, figuring out how the studio could build a lot of game a lot quickly. What they came up with was a specific set of engine tools which were built off Max Payne 2's Max Ed level editor, which would allow the team to create vast amounts of game world without having to laboriously place every single bush or tree stump. Former Remedy head Oskari Hakkanen explained, "An unconventional game requires unconventional tools. We spent lots of effort in the early stages of development creating biotypes that mesh together based off the research photos we took. Now, if we place a road in the middle of the world, for instance, the system automatically knows to put trees or grass on the road. It also automatically generates sprouts of grass coming from the edges of the tarmac and ensures that the grass type is in line with the vegetation surrounding the road. In addition to that, it'll add gravel and a ditch on the sides of the road. The effort put into making these systems work saved us time later, as no post-editing was needed, and they allowed our artists to work very efficiently." Right, the research photos. Finland is very different from the Pacific Northwest, obviously, so the team flew out to Washington State, Oregon, and British Columbia to take over 60,000 photos of diners, lakes, and towns, and...
Yikes. But the game does look like just from United States or something.
Even camped out in forests overnight to paint an accurate picture
of course, I didn't know where the developer was from, because I didn't really care. Because I still don't kind of care, but now I'm more like, I know it, so it's in the back of my mind. Like, who developed it, like, oh, it looks like shit, or doesn't run, and I'm like that one guy who's like, knocks his laptop, it's like, fucking Blizzard! But more like, fucking whatever company this is.
region. All of this was done to flesh out the world of Bright Falls, in which Wake could follow the main story path, or he could get into a car and drive to a logging camp, find collectibles, visit restaurants, and avoid eye contact with his fans. It was up to the player, and everything was governed by a dynamic day and night cycle, which of course played into the game's themes. Even at this early stage, the project was looking really impressive, pushing the physics-based systems of Max Payne 2 even further, like logs realistically rolling down a hill. Remedy was feeling confident with what they had and decided to put together a demo for a behind-closed-doors presentation at E3 2005, and this is where the hype machine for Alan Wake slowly started to awaken.
Yeah, I can definitely tell they use that PlayStation 2 graphics for it. It looks really dated, that graphics area. It's either that or it's like a VR world that has the same level of graphics, you know? Because people just use the Unity engine for it, or Mumbler, or whatever the fuck it is.
The press and potential publishers were all duly impressed, as the game stood out compared to typical open-world fare. It was a dark thriller with a unique hero that was nestled in forests, lakes, and cabins rarely seen in video games at that point. While several big publishers had shown interest, Remedy went with Microsoft, with one of the chief reasons being that the IP would ultimately belong to them and not the electronics giant, at least not indefinitely, which is why the recent remaster is...
Yeah, fuck EA. Fuck the big boys. Start your own publishing company. Like, I think it's kind of cool if you're like working video games like that. Like, every time I see, it's like, every time these companies sell out to like EA or Blizzard or Activision or Steam, it's kind of just like, most of the time it's like, they always fuck everything up and makes a terrible game. Because that's why I'm pretty sure most of the games out there are just pieces of shit compared to the original ideas, compared to the original, how much work they put into it. But it's literally the production behind it are the people that, you know, are usually the ones that make games or just shit, or just like, there's a deadline, that's what it is. And then, you know, the deadline makes crunching and looks bad.
Is even possible. Once Daddy Gates' deep pockets were opened up, though, Remedy got to work in earnest, building out content, locations, and missions, basically filling Bright Falls with things to do. Slowly, though, over the course of 2005, 2006, all the way to 2008, a deep, uncomfortable feeling started welling up in the back of the team's skull. A dark, inky, nagging thing that kept echoing through the collective mind palaces until they could no longer ignore its warning. They had built the game completely wrong. Originally, the day and night cycle pushed two sides of gameplay. During the day, Alan could talk to NPCs, gather clues, and start amassing resources which would be invaluable during the night, where combat would finally kick off. Sam, do the Max Payne face Lake, detailed this process in an interview with Game Informer. When you say night is coming and night brings trouble, it starts to mean the player wants to prepare for nightfall. We had elements where you are driving around in this open world looking for a generator, looking for portable light sources, looking for gasoline for the generator, and then you were setting up a camp and preparing for the nightfall. Also, with the NPCs, we found ourselves in a situation wondering, does it make sense to have NPCs around? This is one of those elements that started to make less and less sense for the team as they built the game's structure and tried to balance its pacing. The main thrust of the story was finding Alan's abscond wife, and when giving the player absolute freedom, that story was robbed of its urgency. When you look at Remedy's history, it's always been clear that story was a driving force for the action. So if they felt that it was starting to slip into the background, well, that's a fair concern, one that Oscari also shared. A thriller is very much like a roller coaster. You need those build-ups to make the plunges feel all the more exhilarating.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about it that way, but yeah. This looks like Holiday World or Kings Island in the United States, this ride. But yeah, that makes total sense. I was gonna say something else. Yeah, fuck it.
We just weren't getting this in a sandbox design because all the gamistic things you need were detracting from the story being the focal point. Having flexibility with linear environments also gave us the opportunity to make any given path as wide or as narrow as we pleased. It allowed us to play around with gameplay, narrow stealth areas like when the cops are chasing Wake, and wider areas to allow exploration and that sense of, oh shit, I'm lost, what's in the woods? So yeah, it resulted in a much better game. So while it was a decision that was certainly not made lightly, especially with Microsoft footing the bill, Remedy felt it was the right one for the game. So for the next 2 years, they took a long, hard look at what they had and started to focus. What set pieces and locations worked within the context of the story? What was essential and what was not? They plucked out the areas they had built and started slotting them in like a giant jigsaw puzzle, building each narrative beat one by one, which gave the game a more authored, handcrafted feel. One slight issue though, Remedy, who turned the third-person action genre on its head with Max Payne, was starting to accrue a reputation for super high-quality titles, and a delay to Alan Wake only built up its mystique. Typically, when a game gets delayed over and over, there's this perception it's going to blow everyone away with innovation or the amount of content or what have you.
This is taking forever.
But at the time, it wasn't really widespread news that the game essentially hit the reset button. What's more is that with it being placed as a big Xbox exclusive during the raging battlefield that was the 7th generation HD Wars, perhaps too much expectation was placed upon Mr. Wake's tweed-covered shoulders.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
Eventually, though, as Remedy was piecing together Alan's journey through Bright Falls, a final release date was chosen, May 18th, 2010. Now, while
I was close.
Positioned as an Xbox 360 exclusive, a PC version of the game had been confirmed earlier on, which made sense as Remedy had a long history of supporting the format. However, this didn't exactly go to plan, which is something I'll swing back around on in a little bit. Now, while certainly anticipating...
Well, I guess it didn't come out that way, but pretty much every game ends up on stream or one of those video game websites anyways.
The May 18th release date wasn't exactly an ideal situation because it squarely placed Mr. Wake in the shadow of a number of competitors. I'm not sure if y'all remember, but it was an incredibly busy day for video gaming. On just that specific Tuesday, Remedy had to fend off Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands, Split Second, and Red Dead Redemption. In addition to that, less than a week later came Blur, and then Super Mario Galaxy 2, so there were a lot of places gamers could spend their money that week, and unfortunately, Bright Falls wasn't really one of them.
Right, so much for quiet vacation.
Despite some very positive reviews, Alan Wake reportedly moved only 145,000 copies in its first 2 weeks, while John Marston roped up 1.5 million in the same time frame. Very slowly over the subsequent months, and eventually years, the game inched over the platinum threshold, which, when compared to a lot of other Microsoft-published games of the day, your Gears or your Forzas, wasn't so hot. Alan Wake's American Nightmare, an oddball downloadable spin-off released almost 2 years later, didn't help move the needle much. But what really didn't move the needle much in a lot of gamers, and specifically PC gamers' eyes, was the cancellation of the PC version. Around the game's Xbox 360 launch, Microsoft infamously said, some games are more suited for the intimacy of the PC, and others are best played from the couch in front of a larger TV screen. We ultimately realized that the most compelling way to experience Alan Wake was on the Xbox 360 platform, so we focused on making it an Xbox 360 exclusive. Both Microsoft and Remedy have long histories in PC game development, okay? This decision was about matching the specific game to the right platform. Okay, a ludicrous nonsense statement nowadays, but 11 years ago, it was fairly typical, as lots of console titles saw incredibly delayed PC ports or even skipped them altogether. Remedy, however, fought for the PC for years, finally convincing Microsoft to give the green light, which resulted in the game hitting Steam in 2012, just ahead of Alan Wake's American Nightmare featuring Cody Rhodes. Ever since then, the studio remained tight-lipped about a return to Bright Falls, occasionally dropping hints on how they'd like to revisit it in some fashion, but never going beyond that. Will we ever...
I mean, that's kind of cool. I was about to say, I always remember it being on Steam for a long time, and like, I was in high school, I played it through Steam on, you know, at the time, my brother's Justin's old computer, for like, that was like 2013, or 2014, like, yeah. I was wondering, like, why the hell is it not on Steam during this time?
Ever get to play Alan Wake 2? Yes. Nope. No big deal.
It wasn't until Control tied a number of Remedy's franchises together, confirming they all happened in the same universe, which, for a short time, was the most Alan Wake we had gotten in a decade. But hey, the remaster's out now, and look at Alan's face! It actually looks so much better. I'm sorry, I was trying not to bring it up the entire video, even though I love this game. What is wrong with your face? Ah, man, I love dipping into these more positive episodes every so often, but if you know of any other game development life cycles, good or bad, let me know in the comments below, over on my Twitter, or slowmo.
Oh, usually with this What Happened series, it's kind of like, oh, this game never got to be produced because blah blah blah. I guess it's more like what bad developing cycle it is. I don't know.
Dive into the Flophouse VIP.
I would subscribe, but it's like only watch this series. I don't like his other stuff for some reason. Well, I'm assuming Zahid, you know. Hey, there's me again! Hell yeah! Oh no. Oh yeah, before that. I don't know if I'm going to watch Season 3, because I thought Season 2 was kind of lackluster and I stopped caring for it. I bounced back in like episode 80 something. I was like, oh, it's kind of cool. It's, you know, it's the Critical Role, blah, 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 blah. But now it's... No, I just don't care. Like, for a little bit, like a month ago, I was really into D&D all the time. Watching D&D stuff, D&D this, D&D that. I started about Critical Role again. I watched their, like, spin-off campaign, the one that's, like... They had the person from D&D Dimension 20 girl DM a whole series about it. She was really good, and the whole thing was funny, and I really liked that. But I'm not sure if I watch campaign 3. I might watch from the beginning, but just like, I don't know. We had to introduce all these characters again. I don't know if it's the same cast they're going to play again too. It might just include some people from the spin-offs, or just get rid of half of them because diversity's sake. Which I'm like, I don't know, I don't understand why diversity has to matter for people playing D&D. Like if you want to create a diverse group, grab your friends in a diversity to be a diverse D&D group. These people are friends first. They're not here. Like, this Critical Role is not a job for them, even though it kind of is for some of them. Like Laura Bailey, Matt Mercer's wife, I can't remember her name for some reason, and I guess Matthew Mercer, because he advertises shit too, but I don't know. But like, besides like those maybe Liam O'Brien. I know Liam O'Brien and Sam Riegel had like a mini series I watched, but I think that was it. Like they went around and did just generic nerdy stuff like video games or 80s nerdy stuff. And I watched that. That was nice. I don't think they did another season of it. I mean, really haven't checked it out, but I'm pretty sure it was only that season because it wasn't that popular. And I thought it was okay. It just reminded me of a generic like reality TV show. So I just, like over half of them that could be cut and put random people of like color or gender or whatever there. And I know D&D is a queer friendly game, but it's like these are the original people, and I'd rather see them create characters and stuff. And I know they're literally all white, besides Laura Bailey looks a little bit Latino. In my personal opinion. I could be wrong, and she could just be, Western European, but they're all just white people. Like, I don't know. Okay.
For any fan of Half-Life, most people would look at the title of this video and think, well, yeah, of course it's horrifying. But nowadays, Half-Life has been more of a passing meme than an actual game series. Sure,
Yeah,
Half-Life
true.
Alyx brought a lot of vitality to the franchise, especially since the ending alludes to a possible revival to the series, and while many see this game as an innovative push forward to the gaming industry as a whole, people sometimes forget that this game is rooted in horror elements. See, Half-Life 1 actually has its roots in a sort of mixture of both high-octane action and some terrifying horror elements. It's weird, but it works, with all these shambling, creepy zombies running around these dark corridors filled with these little creatures and strange existential cutscenes here and there. Of course, I wouldn't blame you if you disagreed. I mean, 60% of the game you're fighting like soldier dudes and actual fucking ninjas. It's stupid, yeah, but it's the 90s. It's like 90s stupid. Half-Life was pretty well received at the time, but I don't really remember anyone really talking about it too much. I think Duke Nukem was talked about more than Half-Life at the time, but that could totally be my personal experience. I personally grew up with Quake, and everyone loved Quake in the late 90s, but that suddenly changed when the world was introduced
Even Joe Rogan.
to the next generation of games in the new millennia. The Xbox, GameCube, and PS2 were hot off the shelves. People were interested to see just what the next generation of games have to offer. Aside from looking better, games had the opportunity to just do bigger things, bigger stories, better soundtracks, larger worlds, thanks to CD-based technology. But of course, PC gamers been new. PCs back in the 90s performed really well for gaming, but the market just wasn't tapped in yet. Sure, we had unique PC games that couldn't be emulated on consoles, but the mainstream still focused on bits and 3D. With the new generation coming, however, it was the perfect time to innovate. However, no other video games out there innovated the genre and gaming as a whole more than Half-Life 2, and that's no hyperbole. Half-Life 2 was just a glimpse of what gaming had to offer, not just technically speaking, but as an art form as a whole. It had a grand story, beautiful graphics, ragdoll physics. Yeah, that was a thing that not a lot of games during the time had, and if they did have it, it'd be sometimes very buggy or wouldn't look as good as Half-Life did. The physics engine absolutely changed the way so many games are developed, and I know for a lot of you guys, the physics engine in your games might be taken for granted, but legit, me seeing barrels roll around and destroy crates, I mean, even today's games don't use physics engines like Half-Life 2 did. And ragdoll physics? Oh my god, I played around with dead bodies for hours. Wow, that sounds incredibly messed up when I say that. All the great things.
Yeah, it's true. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of game development literally comes from, like Half-Life 2, like, Gary's mod, Team Fortress 2, I believe. Yeah.
Things Half-Life did, we tend to forget what lies beneath this game. I'm talking, of course, of the horrors of the lore and the many implications that this one game hides. Y'all think Dark Souls has some juicy lore hidden in the items and environment? Wait till you examine this shit. First and foremost, let's talk about the story. Starting with Half-Life 1, you play as Gordon Freeman, a scientist working on some experiments conducted by this super secret facility called Black Mesa. Science happens, Corona and aliens are unleashed, and it's up to you to stop them. On the surface, Half-Life 1 isn't anything special. Fact is, we've been fighting aliens all throughout the 90s, but that's not what makes Half-Life special, not the aliens, no. Half-Life was made special simply for the sheer fun of its gameplay. The cutscenes were non-existent, and it's all seamlessly transitioned over to scripted dialogue and scenes. The alien designs were very unique, and the weapons were a ton of fun to mess around with. Plus, this game introduced some iconic Half-Life tropes, like the crowbar and head crabs, which resurrected a ton of scientists found in the Black Mesa facility, changing the mood from a simple shoot 'em up to a real dark and existential survival horror. Of course, much of that gets thrown out the window when the military gets involved and you're all decked out with RPGs and submachine guns and fucking 3 kinds of explosives. Then eventually you get your hands on some weird alien tech, and it's just so good. But honestly, not much about this game.
Yeah.
Aside from encountering your first few aliens and headcrab zombies at the beginning, Half-Life quickly turns horror to action, like the alien movies. Well, that actually makes sense. It's not really till about Half-Life 2 when things start.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of like 80s and 90s games had like sci-fi in it, 'cause that's where a lot of like Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, Dune, a little bit of Star Wars, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like everything was like sci-fi, or like at least those. No, steampunk is more like early 2000s, and in like mid 2010s. But yeah, so I don't bat an eye to like old 90s and then sci-fi. Cause I feel like the first games are kind of just like either sci-fi too or like a little bit high fantasy, I found from high fantasy like Lord of the Rings or stuff like that to like sci-fi, and then went kind of back up with back to fantasy again with like Silent Hill, which it's not really high. No, it's not high fantasy. It's more horror fantasy. Like the Elder Scrolls, World of Warcraft series and all that. That brought back to high fantasy up to like I'll say 2020, because in between there was kind of like steampunk was kind of there, was a hot topic too, because like Wolfenstein, Thief, BioShock, especially BioShock Infinite was there too. It is what it was. All right, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish this video and then just call it, because I'm just really tired and I'm like I'm barely able to focus. I'm just kind of I'm just zoning in and watching the YouTube video. I'm not really thinking about what to say next. So yeah.
Complicated. The story turns more existential. The writing is incredible, and the atmosphere, man, the atmosphere. Well, instead of gushing about the game, let's talk details. I won't go too much into the story of the game, as I feel like most of us have already played the game, and if you haven't, you should. Also, I really would like to dive into some of the spookier aspects instead of just nitpicking some story parts. To summarize, though, after the events of Half-Life 1, the alien civilization known as the Combine was able to find Earth and enslave it within a matter of hours. Since then, the world has been living under rapid pressure. Nobody is free. Everything you do is monitored. Everything you eat is monitored. Where you work is monitored. You become sterilized, so you can't reproduce anymore. Your bodies are forcibly mutilated to serve the Combine. You see helicopters made from the carcasses of other alien races they've enslaved, burnt bodies from subordinates who failed to take orders. Oh, yeah, and Ravenholm. There's a lot to unpack, and like I said, if you haven't already played the game, I highly recommend you do, and I really want you to experience it yourself, because now I'll be diving deep into this game, starting with the Combine itself. In the first game, you actually get to visit a plane of existence called Zen. It's really unique in the sense that you really don't ever visit anything like this in any other game but Half-Life 1, and it's the home world of your main alien baddies. It's here you fight the big bad boss, Nihilith. This is where he begins to whisper things into your mind.
The last you are, the last you are. You are man. He is not man. For you he waits for you.
I don't know, I barely understand what it's trying to say, but it's like what I hear is like you are the nest. You're the nest next, whatever. I don't know. That just, to me, it looks really ugly.
At first, it seems cryptic, almost nonsensical, until you begin to piece together that the Nightland is talking about the Combine, their terrifying indoctrinations and slavery, and of course, G-Man. Yes, G-Man, the most infamously mysterious character in all of gaming. G-Man is an enigmatic character who speaks in an odd tone of voice, strange inflections whenever there shouldn't be any. He's shown to have power beyond comprehension, such as stopping time, putting Gordon Freeman in stasis for years, transporting him in and out wherever he sees fit. I remember as a kid thinking that G-Man was not only one of the most interesting and enigmatic characters I'd ever seen in any video game, but also one of the scariest. The way he talks is freaky, sure, and I remember some people describing it as some sort of alien who's never had lungs before, trying to get used to breathing. I remember that description. I think it's the most beautiful way to describe his talking.
Huh. Yeah, that's a very beautiful way of describing that. Alien trying to use lungs for the first time.
That's not really what got me all spooked out. It's freaky, sure, but what really got me was the fact that he was always watching you. You don't really need to look very hard to find him, because chances are you will eventually see him. He's in the monitors, he's on TV, he's here, he's there. It's unsettling. You always feel like you're being watched, not just by the Combine, but by something else you can't really explain, which also describes G-Man himself. Is he a friend or just an enemy? Is he someone you can trust or someone who's yet to reveal his true motives? Who does he work for? It doesn't help that whenever G-Man appears on TV, this real creepy music starts playing. To this day, no one can decipher what that female voice in the background is saying. Although many suggest it's a Combine radio chatter heard throughout City 17, others have suggested that if you play it backwards, you can hear something akin to, "Gordon, can you hear me?"
Yeah. I mean, I kept hearing over the years, like, Half-Life 2 was only meant to have a sequel, but sorry, it's always meant to have a sequel, but you know, they just made so much money from Steam, like why bother caring, you know?
What do you guys think? Speaking of which, G-Man gets a lot of attention for being creepy, but I feel not enough people talk about the horrors that the Combine puts humanity through. First and foremost, you gotta understand that the Combine are a massive galactic federation that has enslaved and taken over dozens of civilizations from different dimensions and different planets, including the very aliens you fought against during the first game. Of course, by this point we're under the impression that the Nightland was a big bad, but as stated before, the Nightland was just a cog, and it's sort of unclear whether or not Nightland wanted to take over Earth for himself or inhabit Earth secretly in order to escape the Combine. But this results in the Combine eventually finding out that Earth exists. By the time you're dropped off in Half-Life 2, several years had gone by, and the Combine has had full control over Earth. The things the Combine did to humanity is bleak, but not quite as bleak as what was put in beta, which we'll talk about right after this.
I think this is the trans woman. I think. I could be wrong, but I think. Because the avatar does not match the voice at all. And it was VR chat, that's one thing. I always expect everyone's a guy until they open their voice and sound like a woman. But YouTube always considered people by their voice first. Because, I don't know, YouTube I focus more on the audio than the video. So it's like, when it's really confusing and I can't relate, I'm just kind of like, I'm assuming it's a trans person. Like, that's it, you know?
At this point, the Combine had taken over humanity and essentially neutered them. Most men and women have been sterilized, a ton of children have been put into labor. Though never explicitly shown, it is implied and shown in the beta. Also, the oceans were completely dried up by the Combine, turning these places into wastelands, toxic, filled with a poison that could have you coughing phony blood. This isn't explained outright, but the beta of this game tells otherwise. See, I've had a bit of trouble naming this video because I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about the beta of Half-Life 2 or if I was just going to talk about Half-Life 2 in general, because I believe both versions are two completely different games with different atmospheres and have different ways to make you feel uncomfortable. Both have horrifying aspects that I feel go underappreciated, but I didn't want to focus on which one was scarier because I feel they're both scary in their own right, and this is because they both show the Combine differently. Overall, the backstory is much the same. The Combine defeated...
I'm pretty sure if I played this game with no lights on, I would be kind of spooked. Or at least, you know, kind of unsettled. You know what I mean? Or like many games, horror games like that. It's just more like, it's kind of hard to be terrified in any game when I'm streaming, when I have a ring light right there, and I'm looking at chat, and I'm, you know, trying to talk at the same time, like more aggressively than I do. So I don't know, it is what it is.
The humans in just a matter of 7 hours, as if in a way to humiliate humanity while it was down or to just rub salt in the wound. We learned through some newspapers that this wasn't even done through the Combine's main military unit, but by a much smaller unit to soften the Earth's defenses. Something about that when I was a kid, it really freaked me out. I mean, we've all seen alien movies where the aliens invade Earth and whatever, but the concept of aliens being so incredibly advanced that they could just bring humanity to its knees in just an afternoon brings me terror to no end. It's that unknown that scares me, sure, but also what the unknown has planned for us that scares me. Half-Life...
Yeah, that would terrify me. I'm like, oh, this is literally the end of the world. Like, either I will commit suicide or just, you know, try to fight these aliens off and hopefully kill enough of them so they run away. But of course, I will probably fucking die or be enslaved. Or hell, I might even run away. Like, yeah, of course, but I don't think any of this shit's gonna happen, though. Like, at least to me. You know, so I'm not worried about it. I know the Pentagon released information talking about, like, oh, aliens do exist or UFOs do exist. We don't know what they are. And I'm like, okay, and then you're saying UFOs exist, but where about aliens? It's like, if they said, like, communicative and traveling aliens talk to us, and we release that out to the Pentagon or whatever, then I'll believe, like, those UFOs. But I just don't even believe the UFO thing. Like, I know it's stupid because, you know, it's the government, they say it, but just the way they did it and just the way who announced it, it sounded, like, really immature. And I'm assuming person who released that data, they'll be a lot more professional, not just some random white dude going like, man, why'd you guys believe me? So I'm just like, I just don't believe him. It's like, when you act so immature, like, I don't believe people, like, immaturity. Like, someone acts immature, like, I'm not gonna believe anything they're gonna say. I'm just gonna, like, nod my head or say, yeah, okay, buddy, just to shut them up and continue on. So it's like, yeah, so I'm not afraid of this situation happening, but it is scary to think about.
2's retail release shows the Combine to be more similar to George Orwell's 1984, their totalitarian regime that have humanity pressed underneath their thumb, treating them more like cattle, or maybe even less than that. They mutilate them to serve their own purposes and experiment on them whenever they go too far, as if they were nothing more than children who cannot understand their place in the universe. Humans are constantly transported from city to city, confusing the masses, alienating them from the community they're in, separating themselves from their families, clearly as a way for the Combine to keep everyone demoralized and confused, and from forming an organized revolt. And for those that do plan to revolt or refuse to stay in line, well, the punishments are far more severe than words can describe. Countless times we see humans turn to headcrab zombies, for example, but when you examine them closely, you feel a sort of tragic empathy towards them. Their torso and stomachs are torn away, their bodies mutated to fit the headcrab's needs, whatever they may be. The shouts and screams of the victims begging to be stopped can still be heard if you play their moans backwards.
God, help me!
Then there are the different variants of headcrab zombies, all worse than the last. Ravenholm is practically a testing field for what variants of headcrabs can turn people into. Lore-wise, Ravenholm used to be a resistance stronghold filled with citizens who escaped the Combine's grasp, yet by the time we see it in-game, it's already been transformed into an apocalyptic nightmare, and an example of what humans could become if they do not follow the Combine's orders. But following Combine orders doesn't guarantee survival, as shown many times that the Combine will beat you to near death just for not picking up a can and throwing it in the trash. They'll give you 1 meal a day, a full meal if you're willing to comply to their demands, such as ratting out resistance members, and this doesn't even guarantee your survival, honestly. Again, they don't see you as humans, barely even as conscious beings. The Combine see you as slaves, as cattle, as a dying race on its last legs, just like every other race they've conquered. Let's also not forget that Civil Protection, as in the Metro Combine you first see in the game, are also enslaved humans. As evil as they may seem, all throughout the game you can hear radio chatter that implicates what could drive someone to betray their own species. Other than maybe a small minority being psychotic and love the power of being a CP, the life of a CP isn't so very luxurious, as it's stated that the reward for doing your job as Civil Protection is either getting to see your family and keeping them alive, or getting a decent meal.
Reminder, memory replacement is the first step towards rank privileges. Strength dealers. Reminder, 100 sterilized credits qualifies non-mechanical reproduction simulation.
Yes, that's correct. They are rewarded for beating citizens with non-mechanical reproduction simulation, which I don't think I need to explain what that is. They actually encourage CP to brutally beat or even kill other civilians due to augmentations that are implanted in their suit that give them a surge of dopamine just from complying. It's brutal, and in many ways it sympathizes.
Yeah, it's shit. I don't want this stuff to happen, you know? Like, people play these games and people read these stories and they're like, and they don't think, like, compare that to real life, dude. Like, I fucking would. Like, bro, like, do we want to act like this for other people? Like, we should do that ourselves. You know, I know it's like, people say, well, you eat meat, Luke. I'm like, I don't know, but to be honest, it's kind of different, in my opinion. Like, most of the time, farmers care for the animals before they kill them anyways. I know they're, like, places for, like, fur farms, and like, yeah, fuck those places. But, like, I'm sure most farmers care for their animals before they're used for livestock, you know? It's not just like, oh, we're killing them, we're not torching them and then eating them. Like, if we're gonna kill them to eat them, we kill them right away. Because humans, we don't like killing things with our hands. Like,
It's what the CP does.
Shadow, what's going on?
And why they become what they are. Speaking of augmentations, the Combine has enslaved many worlds just like Earth and has synthesized the creatures they...
Poppy doggy. What do you want? Alright. I don't know what he wants, but like I said, this is basically the end of the video. Thank you very much for showing up today. If you showed up, I appreciate it very much. Every like, every comment counts.